Ms. Zander, you're suing the defendant for $5,000. Your lawsuit is for unpaid services, late fees, and emotional distress. Mr. Bosio, you contend that you don't owe the plaintiff any money. As I understand it, the two of you knew each other in improv class. You used to rehearse sometimes at the defendant's home. It was there that you came to know the defendant's wife. You're a ghostwriter, and you were ghostwriting her memoir. She didn't pay you. You allege that she also traumatized you, that there were incidents that you feel were racial, that triggered a mental health response. You've submitted evidence of having to seek treatment as a result of the behavior of the defendant's wife. You allege in your complaint that you got caught in a web of fraud that was spun by the defendant and his wife. Mr. Bosio, your defense essentially is that this transaction, the ghostwriting deal, was between the plaintiff and your soon-to-be ex-wife, and that this transaction really doesn't have anything to do with you. You have not interposed a counterclaim, but you point out that the plaintiff is improperly retaining possession of a laptop that you're actually still paying for.
Correct.
Ms. Zander, was there a signed contract between you and the defendant's wife?
No, there was a verbal contract. We had recorded interviews.
Did you have any discussions with the defendant about the contract?
No.
So a lot of what you allege seems to relate to conflicts between you, and we'll just call her Mrs. X. Mrs. X is the one who you contend engaged in the allegedly racist treatment. What was racist? What was triggering? Because you've got a pretty big claim for emotional distress.
At this time, she was pretending to not be white. She was saying she was indigenous, and she was attacking people of color online, getting in fights with people, calling them racist against her, particularly towards people of color.
She was saying she was a person of color and she was a white woman.
She's 98.9% European.
Do you know what she is? Have you done her 23andMe?
I have access to her 23andMe, yes.
You have. I was being facetious. You actually do have access. How did you get access to her 23andMe?
A lot of us have access to a lot of her files, to emails, Facebook, etc.
Let's assume that she is a person of purely European descent and she's running around saying she's partially indigenous and she's making that all up. Why the heck does that cost you thousands of dollars in emotional distress? Why is this distressing to you?
Part of it was I was working with her and I needed her to stop. She was harming people, some people that I know. She was viciously attacking people, and I was the only person who could get her to stop. She listened to me and she would not listen to anyone else. It was extremely emotional for me to know that I had the burden to explain this to somebody who was very—
I'm gonna interrupt you. It is not your job to explain things to white people. Why did you take that on? Why didn't you just say, I don't want to talk to you about this, let's do your memoir?
It was relevant to the last chapter of the book because she asked me to write about the particular Sami heritage that she discovered that she had. She said, I want this to be in the book.